Hello. How's everyone doing today? Let me know if you can hear me. I know. Look, my cantaloupe. You guys caught me. There you go. Let me get this all sent over onto the Facebook group. Oh, you know what? Let me do this way because it works a little bit better. How's everybody doing tonight? If anybody's out there. You get the link and I will take it over into the Facebook group. Hey, Bev. Hey, Joe. How are you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Here, I'll put some stamps out there just for... I know, my cute little stamps. My phone is really slow tonight for whatever reason. It doesn't want to pull Facebook up. There it went. I was in the wrong place, I guess. There we go. Posted in group. There we go. I know, I'm so glad to be back. I really am. It has been a while and I missed y'all. So you guys know I just did my Green Gables kit, right? Oh, I have a ton of stamps. Look, I made a little book charm. Let me see if I can see. It's a little Anna Green Gables book. Let me see if I can get it up there where you can see it and it's not all crazy looking. And look, it's even got little pictures. The little pictures in there in the little storybook. It actually has words printed in there and the little pictures. They're so cute. Hi, Trisha. I don't know if you're still here or not. I know she was here earlier. But I made it to go on my journal, so that was so cute. I love Anna Green Gables. I'm eating cantaloupe, so if you hear me squashing, that's why. I know we're a little bit early, so I figured we could just chat. Yeah, these are Bow Bunny. These are Tonic Studio. Fiskars has some really good ones too. I love these. It says a bird doesn't sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. And it's got creating happiness. It's called For the Birds, but I love that one. I'm going to have this one, which is like just great for general stuff. And more birds and nests, a lot of flowers. A bunch of these I got off of... I'm trying to remember where it would... It's off a Facebook group, scrapbooking supplies, when they're destashing scrapbooking supplies. Roses. This I got at I got this at Tuesday Mornings, and it was $3.99, and I actually got it on sale over that. And there's some Inka Dinkadoo. I love the little mandalas. I love these because they're like little crochet doilies. My mom has a bunch of doilies like this. I love those. And some little swirls, because those are just nice and fancy. And some roses. Love those. I think these are, yeah, see, like, you do this in one color, or that in one color, and then that in one color, so you get your 3 layered roses. I love those, but you have to have a stamping platform when you do these, or they just don't Well, I mean, you don't have to, but. And then there's my butterflies and dragonflies and my hummingbird. I don't know. Are you guys hearing me? Okay. Let me know if you hear me. Just because it's been a while since I've been on here, and I want to make sure that everybody can hear me good. I'm hitting live chat on my phone. Because it takes some time sometimes for them to come through. Let's see. I love this one. It's got, some of these are yellow because I've used them so much. A snail, and it's got little snail mail. I love that one. I love little worms, little mushrooms. I love this one because I love this. I mean, the words are great, but I love this stamp up here at the top. I love this one. I'm going to do some of these for my next. Well, I may do some on the inserts for my Springtime in Paris one, but I try to only use things that everybody can get. So I may not include these. I may do this on my next one because I want to do a traveler's notebook with the Springtime in Paris too. I have this one. I love this one. Like the Queen Anne's lace. I think it's gorgeous. And so I use it a lot. And I love these down here. It's got purple coneflower in it. And of course my little bird cages and my little crown and my bees and little stamp, cancellation for an envelope, all that. And then there's the little roses. So there's all those while we're waiting for everybody to come in. So if they want to see all the stamps, they'll have to come back. Now this was my latest find. And I don't know, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, somebody holler, hey. Hey! I found these at my thrift store. And somebody using this one's got glitter on them, but I don't know if you can see them. The rose. I love that. And then there's a single one. Okay, awesome. Hi, Katie. And then this one, I love the big one. So that'll be great. I love those. Look, Katie, I got roses. Catherine. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Hi, Sharon. So I love those. And I got these at the thrift store. And they were in a bag with a whole bunch of other stuff for like 99 cents. I mean, seriously, that's crazy. And I got my little quote stamps because, I know, you know what I'm going to use these roses for, don't you, Katie? Uh-huh, that's what I'm saying. 99 cents. I couldn't believe it. And I mean, they don't look like they've even been used. They have glitter on them where like somebody had them thrown in their craft room or something, but there's no ink. And I don't know if, probably can see on the big one. Let me see if I can hold it up. I don't know if you guys can see it. See all the detail? It's crazy mad. They have tons of detail. And I love my little quote things because those are great. You can use those on anything and turn it into a journaling spot. And then, of course, I kid you not, these came from my mom. My mom found these at like a little thrifty store type place or something. I'm not sure. My mom gave me these. These I found at my thrift store. The rest of these I bought on a D-Stash online, and I got them for 99 cents a piece. And when I can get some for 99 cents a piece, I'm buying it. Because, I mean, not for stamps when, you go to like the Goodwill and places like that, secondhand stores, stuff like that, you'll still pay $12, $13. Lori Lou. And I love, this is my Tim Holtz. These are called Little Things. And I love these little things are great. Just to put on the corner of an envelope. Just to put something on there. So I love that one. And that's called Little Things. These are Tim Holtz ones. You have to have your Tim Holtz. And I love the fragments. I love, 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 love these. These are like one of my favorite sets. These are Tim Holtz, but I don't have a name for them. I'm not sure what they are, but I love this. There is beauty and simplicity. Live your dream with passion. Replace fear of the unknown with curiosity. I love those. These are okay, but I've used them, but they're not my favorite. I love the faded type because you guys have seen me use that before. I love it. I love the eclectic edges. And I just cleaned them all so that they're looking nice and pretty where I cleaned them, except the ones that I couldn't get them cleaned up, like this one. It had stained because I used a generic ink from a big box craft store in my area. I won't say. I love this one. It's a flower. And again, I know these are Tim Holtz, but I can't tell you what kit they came from because I bought them used. This one I got on here crooked. These are the stamp sheets that come in. They're a little pricey because they're like $14. Hold on, let me grab it. But it's the stamp storage ones from Tim Holtz. And when you buy them, you get these acetate, and they're not real. I mean, it's like thick acetate to put your stamps on, and it holds them so well. And I love this one because it has all the sayings on it. Life is what happens to us while we're making other plans. You need that for a planner, Bev. Everybody loves Timmy. Yep. Oh, I know. I seen Lori. Lori is doing a whole bunch of Tim Holtz journals on her channel. Enchanted Dreams 71. Check her out. Bevy's Crafty Plans. She does all kinds of planning. If you do not have a craft planner, I learned this today. If you don't have a craft planner, you need one. Go get one. She'll show you how. Go check her out. Let's see. I'm trying to think of who else on here has. Katie has Bella Creativa Designs. I'm trying to think of who else on here has a channel. If you have a channel, feel free to pop it in there. I don't care. I'm one of those. Feel free to pop it in. Always know in your heart that you are far bigger than anything anything that can ever happen to you. I love that. The impossible is often untried. Most things that matter most must never be at the mercy of the things that matter least. Isn't that the truth? That is a mouthful right there, guys. And then there's the butterflies. Always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder and the butterflies. And then I actually like these. These are the Happy Everything blueprints. Not so much. I mean, they're holiday ones type basically because you've got a Christmas tree, you've got an Easter rabbit, a spider, a heart, a birthday party, a flag. But there's the butterfly and the oak leaf. I love those two, but I love the butterfly. And as you can tell, this will tell you a little bit about the quality of your stamps. Now the clear ones, I had trouble with some of them cleaning up. They just didn't lose the color. But like I said, I did use sort of some generic, the words on the left. These, oh yeah, me too. Me too. So, there's these are great for art journals, or just a daily journal, tons of stuff. But I'd used some generic, big box store type inks. Every stamp that I used with that would not come out. But the Tim Holtz ones, man, they cleaned up like brand new. Some of the clear ones didn't, but all of these cleaned up great, the red rubber stamps. So I know I love these, and I wish I could say that this was all my stamps, but it's not. And I don't even want to talk about all my stamps. I have stamps in a box, and I have a double drawer filing cabinet that is one of the office types that are 32 inches deep. And I have both of those drawers completely full with stamps. So I have way too many stamps. But I wanted to get my stamps out to use today. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about envelopes. But my stamps, I use my stamps on my envelopes. So let's see, where do I want to start at? Okay, some of this is going to be basic, but just in case. Remember, if you're doing envelopes, your distress inks, if you spray them with water, they are going to smear, they're going to run, they're going to change into all different things, especially the distress ones. If you use your archival inks, it is permanent. I like stamping my envelopes first while they're dry so I don't have to worry about them. With archival inks, I don't have to worry about them. Jet black and potting soil are my go-to inks for my archival inks. I mean, I use those more than anything. And then my distress inks, I like oxides. I like the regulars. Let me pull them over here. Just the person to drop things because I pulled them. Let me get my markers out of here. It's just been there. And tonight I've got our sprays. These are acrylic sprays. These are made with like your apple barrel paints you find at your big box stores. Just your plain old acrylic paints. And they're sprays. So we will do some stuff with those. And I've got browns and I've got glitteries. And glitteries isn't a word, I don't think, but I just made it one. All kinds of stuff. I do have some acrylic ink oxides if you have acrylic ink. It depends on how much you spray, Bev. And I'll sort of walk through some of that in a little bit and show you. And then I've got my little minis. I only buy the large ones in certain colors, like speckled egg is like one of my favorite ones. I only buy certain large inks. But for all of my colors, my go-to, because I don't use them very often, I buy the little ones. That's just me, you know, and so that's how I do that. Okay, so that pretty much is going to be our color that we're going to deal with. You've seen our stamps, or some of them at least, but our sprays. And I'm doing envelopes tonight, and I will do a few tags. And these are just manila tags that I want, but I'm out of all of my inked and colored envelopes. So this is pretty much going to be a mass make. So y'all be ready to see us fly through some envelopes tonight. So I've got just a standard envelope, and let me grab my ruler right off the edge of my table, of course. And these envelopes are roughly 6.5 by 3.5. Then my double window envelopes. These are just your plain office type windows. These are 8 and 7/8 by 3 7/8 basically. And then your standard CD envelopes. So I like to have these on hands with base colors, stamps on them, ready to go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Craft supplies you can go through a lot. And, you know, I don't want to pay for like the big inks. And I'm only going to use them once or twice or whatever. So then we're going to talk about sort of our areas. Now, this is a Tim Holtz glass mat. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, you know, and honestly, I use it. It's nice. It protects my surfaces. Great. I like this part more than anything, especially when I'm inking envelopes and stuff. And I will show you why. Let me pull out 2 small envelopes because I'm just going to show you how it goes. Now I have a small mister. I like using the small misters, and I have a large one, and I'll sort of show you the difference of what they do. Let me grab a small one. I'll just let's use a walnut stain for right now. Well, let me get a pretty color. Let me do a couple colors. I'll do a couple colors so you can sort of see it mixed together. Okay, so I've got a Victorian velvet and picked raspberry. So I'm just going to do 2 little squares. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, does it? And I'm going to do 2 of those. And you know what? I'm going to get a blue to throw in there since we're doing sort of springy. Let's do a really pretty blue. Yeah, let's do Mermaid Lagoon. That'll go because our stuff's sort of in turquoise. There we go. So just some small squares. Now I'm going to start with my small mister. This is just a regular mister bottle. You can buy these from Ranger. You can buy these just about any craft place, Hobby Lobby, all of those. If you go to Walmart, go into the travel section, like buy your shampoos and stuff where they carry like, you know, your little small size things. You can buy them individually. Don't buy the packs that have like, you know, a lotion bottle, a spray bottle and all that, because you're sort of wasting your money with the lotion bottles unless you have something else you can use those where, you know, you can use it for glue and spread it or whatever too. I've done that too. Yeah, so save your money. You can buy them, I think, at the Dollar Tree. I've found them too. So I'm just going to 2 or 3 sprays, nothing big. And I sort of just aim it down where it doesn't spread. And you'll see where it bubbles up. And some of you guys, if you've been around with me for other times that I've made envelopes, then this is old school. Just don't pay attention right now. It'll dot up. And I'll just randomly. Now this is with the small bottle. And it's going to go like that and sort of small like that. Now, one thing to remember, well, let me do the other one first and I'll show you that. So, you know what? Hold on a second. That's what I thought. I knew that wouldn't look right. Don't pay attention to that. And I probably just stained my mat. Okay. I grabbed my alcohol bottle, not my water bottle, because I had them both sitting out here. So let me grab my water bottle. Let me make sure I have my water bottle. I'm pretty sure this is my water bottle. Hold on. Yeah. Now let me see if I can clean this off a little bit. Alcohol a lot of times will stain these. Well, this may not because it's ice. Well, yeah, it's stained it some. Do not use alcohol. It will stain it and cause a spot. And we'll talk about these things in a minute. So do not that. I mean, that's fine. And I'll use that for something, but that's what alcohol will do. Don't use it on this mat. It will stain it. Oh my. So let me do this real fast again. And my blue. I was like, wait a minute, that didn't ever do that. Why did that look that way? Is everybody still out there hanging out? I don't see any comments. Okay, so when you spray it with water, it bubbles up even more than the other. And you will see, let me pull that out so I can tell you, you will see a difference with the water because the water causes it to run. So you will get some, but the cool thing with water is after you do that, if you want to spread it, spray a little water and let it set, and it'll run. Or, I mean, you can do that if you have a rag. A lot of times you can squish it around. It'll work like that. So there is a big difference. You'll see where it sort of has that runny look to it. Hi, Connie. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Sharon. Oh, you're just watching. Oh, Julie's here too. I didn't see you, Julie. Hi. So it will smear. Okay. Now, here's the difference between the small sprayer and a large sprayer. The more water, the more it's going to run. I personally like that. Oops. Like that running muted look. And I'm just going to spray it down and grab an envelope. And then I'm just going to dot it. And you'll see why I like the big one versus the small one. There's the difference. That's why I like the bigger sprayer, the more water. But if you're using a small one, it will work. Just make sure you put a lot of water on it, because the more water you get, the more that it's going to run. And then you can even turn it upside down, pat it a little bit, flip it over. So from a small bottle to a large bottle, there's a big difference. Obviously, this is the look we're looking for. So if you're going to use a small bottle, make sure you spray a lot of extra water. You know, do it till it dots up. Spray it a couple more times more so you get big puddles. And I'll do one in a minute with the little bottle so you can see. So this is the look we're looking for. Okay. So let me do one real fast. And you guys are like, oh, she's going through. Oh, I didn't mean to put 3 there, but that's okay. This one will be a little bit more blue than pink, which is perfectly fine. Oh, let me get the small bottle. Okay, so I'm going to spray till it dots up. Right? That's about where you can see where it's dotted. Then I'm going to give it one where it gets some big dots. The big drops. That's what we're after. And then don't hold it in there. Just lightly press it. See, this one's going to be really good. If you put a lot, you're going to, not only that, but especially if you're, say you're doing a project and you need a bunch of a certain color, you know, you'll be able to do more product with your ink that way. So you see where the blues mix in and we're actually getting a purple look there. So you can definitely, another way to save on money, if say, you know, if you're at Hobby Lobby or whatever store or wherever you're at, whatever, you know, Amazon, Amazon lately with things the way they are, you know, so you see how that mixes. And that was using the little one. You just have to make sure you know, add some more water. So you can do it with the small bottles. With the El Cheapo bottles from Walmart for 99 cents or from the Dollar Tree. Now, don't get me wrong. And anybody that has been around this channel for a while will tell you I am a Tim Holtz fanatic. I love anything, everything, all things Tim Holtz, Ranger, Tonic, love them all, okay? Avid fan, would go broke if I could buy everything. This is glass mat. It's nice. This little mat right here is nice. If you can't afford a glass mat, you can buy just these replacement mats. And the Dollar Tree has these clear placemats. You can buy one of these, and they're like $7 just for this mat, which is why I say, you know, don't spray it with alcohol, protect it. It will hold right on here. It will hold it down just like a glass mat. And you have a small surface over here to work, and it'll work just the same. So this is you get 2 of these at the Dollar Tree for $1 or at a dollar store. Anywhere you can buy the plastic placemats, this you can get for $7. So for $8, you can have the same effect of the $40 glass mat. If money is an issue, if money is an issue and you can't afford the $8, and I know times are hard everywhere for people right now. Buy your placemat. There is one side that is smooth, which is the one I just had it stuck to, and I know you can see sort of how it's shiny. Okay, so there's a real gloss side, and it sticks to that perfect. If you turn it over, it has almost like a frosted matte effect. Okay, it will not get the same exact effect because obviously the Tim Holtz mat is made to do what it does. Okay. However, if you do not have it, go to the Dollar Tree, dollar store, buy 2 of these clear mats. Just make sure one side's frosted. Bring it home. Overspray. You have to overspray a lot with this, but that's fine. You can dry your envelopes. It's not a problem. You know, lay them on a baking rack, let them dry. So yeah, you know, so you actually can save money by going to the dollar store and using it. It's just you have to overspray. Remember, you have to add more color than you need. And honestly, it does just about the same. You just have to remember that if you're using the Dollar Tree mats, give it an extra spray or 2. You want it to where it starts, you can see it start blending on the mat, because the Tim Holtz mat is very porous, and so it holds those dots in place. This doesn't have that, although the mat keeps it from running so much. You just have to make sure you spray a lot. So this is with the Dollar Tree mat. Here's with the Tim Holtz board. It's almost the same effect. You do get some more like scattered dots, but you definitely can get the same look for $1 at the Dollar Tree. Save yourself some cash. Buy some digital kits, you know, whatever. Buy some glue, whatever other craft supply you need, or if you don't have it, just save yourself some money. And honestly, in my opinion, this looks the same. I actually sort of like the extra little added dots. So that's just my opinion. So I will be using my dollar store mat tonight just to prove that you can get the same effect. Yeah, they both have their different look, but definitely works. Okay, so we've did that. Let's see. We did mats, we did ink, we did water. Okay, I think we are ready to go. So let me grab, because I always forget something. I need my acrylic block. Yeah, they both look different depending on what you do. It just depends on what you do. And if you can hear a train in the background, I apologize. That's what I get for living where I live. Sorry about that. I had to get a drink because my throat is really wound up today. So let's see, where do I want to start with this rose because I haven't tried them out yet and it's killing me. You know what? I'm actually going to start out with a couple of these. I only have like 6 of these. I'm going to start out with a couple of these. And I'm going to use my potting soil. I know people are vintage photo fans and I love vintage photo. However, I really do like the potting soil. It's about as close as you can get for that washi on there. Imagine that, a piece of washi. Yeah, and you buy them all the time. They always have, hi Chris, they always have them at the dollar store. You can get them all the time. So, okay, let's see. Where do I want to put my rose at? Let's see. It's too wide to go across the bottom, I think. Yeah, it's too wide to go there. So we're going to go up the side. You know, it would help if I lined it up against the side of my block a little bit. Just throw it on there. Let's see. I'm just going to put, oh, and it fell off. So it's going where it's at. I do. I love the potting soil. If I'm doing a nature journal, I actually like it because it has that more, I don't know, earthy tone to it. Oh, that is gorgeous. I love it. Look, can you guys see the, I don't know. Let me see if you can get it out there. Can you see all the little dots in the shading? It has the teeny tiniest little deck. It's just gorgeous. I love it. Ooh, you know what would be really pretty? It would be really pretty to use embossing powder on it, but I'm not going to. I know, it's gorgeous. I love that one. I can't wait to use the bigger ones. Uh-oh, I may have found a new one to use. I'm going to do one on the next one. I'm going to run up the whole side of it. We'll use all 3 of them so we can see what they look like. I love that. Okay, so let me see what I want to use here. I want to use spun sugar and fired brick. I'm looking to see what else I want to use. Where's my tattered rose? I have a tattered rose. All right. Yes, I do. And my tattered rose. Everybody ready to play? This is my favorite part. And I'm going to put about 3 little dots. And I mean, that's not using any ink at all. So that's pretty crazy. And I'm actually going to sort of overlay these because I want them mixed in together. And I'm just going to put the light one towards the middle. Like that. And I actually think I'm going to use the small bottle. I want a lot of water because I want to get a lot of color on there. I should turn off. I should cover my lens so you guys can't see to surprise you. And I'm just going to walk it down. Let me pull it off so I can see. And I'm going to sort of dry off some of the extra. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of the dark on here. I want some darker color on there. And I'm only going to do a small spray. And it's bad when you sort of, it makes it harder when you use the same colors, because I'm going to try to lighten that up some in the middle. I think it got too dark there. Try to cover it all, and then we will go in with a different color over top of it. Then what I do is with my extra, I'll just grab an envelope. And then we'll just layer colors on those. Let me try to get this cleaned up a little bit. I'm going to go in with old paper, so it has a little bit of a sort of a green, but at the same time it has sort of that, I don't know, more of a vintage. And I'm not going to actually press this in. I'm just going to touch it so I get places, but not everywhere. And you have to remember, you're using with distressing. So every time you add a layer, it's going to change the way the other inks appear too, because it changes. And then I like to go in and tap it just because I don't want to wait for those big puddles to dry, because, you know. So that added a whole nother, I don't know if you guys can see the actual creamy color because of the cream. So let's go back in with a green, because we all know roses have the green. And this green almost turns a brown on it. Tap it out. That's just me being lazy, because I don't like to wait for the big puddle to dry. So there you go. And I mean, obviously I kept this sort of at a red tone, but you could very well put any color on here. So then I let that set up there so it can dry. So this one I'm going to do different. I'm going to use a roll or so, and they just come on a roll. So I'm going to wipe my block down, throw the next one on there. I know, I absolutely loved how that turned out. Now this one I'm going to actually use black on, sort of give it a different vibe. Plus I really want to see how this turns out with the black. I love these roses. That's the best 99 cents I spent all year. I haven't bought a whole lot of craft supplies this year. Things have been too. If you ever get it on the edge, which I do, I just grab one of these and sort of, because I throw these away. Because they're just, I use them till they're dead. Yeah, so let me get this on here before it dries. Oh, let me see. How do I want to do this? We'll go from this side this time. Those rolls, I found mine at Menards. You know, like the where they sell lumber and stuff like that. Oh, girls. My rose stamps I bought at my Goodwill, or my thrift store. I have no idea where they came from. All I know it says on it, and you may be able to search and find, is it says winter roses. So you may do like a Google search for winter roses and see what comes up. I'll try to see if I can find them. And if I find them, I will post the link in the Facebook group. because I have them to compare with. It might be a little bit easier, but they're gorgeous. I love them. I'm in love with them. Look at that. And I mean, I used to let that set and dry a little bit too long, but I love that. So I think this one, we're going to do this one with 3 colors. Let's do blue. Let's do pink. And let's do cracked pistachio. So I'll check and see if I can find it. This is cracked pistachio. Picked raspberries. And Mermaid Lagoon. I love Mermaid Lagoon. Love that blue color. Okay. I'm going to spray these where they sort of start gliding together because I don't want them all to be. That's going to be pretty, guys. Let's see. You guys ready? Did you see the purple go flying? Dab, 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 dab. And you can let that sit there until it dries. Oh my Lord, you guys, I love that. Gorgeous. We're going in for another dab because I'm going to grab some of this purple up here on the corner. I'm going to glide it, just roll it right back across. You guys see how pastel that is? Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Let me put some more purple on here. And if me trying to do some spots here and there of this silver. And I'm going to let this set for a little bit. And while I do let it set, before I dab it off, I'm going to grab this and just use it to suck up all the extra that's on there. And, you know, you can just layer your envelopes up as you have your leftover. And that's what I do. And then I end up with multiple layers of color on it, which makes it nice. So now that's done, I just set it to the side. This card's dry now. I love how it's got that pink color to it. It's gorgeous. Put some lace on there. Oh, that'll be so pretty. Okay. So now that it's set here for a little bit, so it's soaked into the paper a little bit more, I'm just going to dab it a little bit. Not a lot. I don't want to take all the color off. And that darkened it up a little bit. Okay, Catherine. Love it. If I don't see you later, good night. Love, 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 love. Now, I know you're going, she's using pastel colors. She never uses pastel colors, and I don't. So I'm going to do a wild, bold one for you guys. Let's see. Let's use, okay, let's do a throwback. Let's use vintage photo. Let's use this blue. Salty Ocean. Lucky Clover. Let's use those 3. Okay, let's pull this off. Let's get out my big rose. I don't even know if it'll fit on this block. I'm going to make it fit. I'm going to make it fit. It's a little bit too big, but it's wider than what my actual card is anyway, so that's okay. And do I want to use, yeah, I'm going to use black because that's going to be so dark that it's going to have, I mean, it'll show through anyway because try to make sure I put a lot on there. Okay, let me wipe this off real fast. Good enough. And yeah, let's just go down the side where we did last time. Are you guys ready to see the big one? I love these stamps. I probably should have pushed it down a little bit more on the top up there, but it doesn't bother me so much if it's not everywhere. And this is, and I don't think these stamps have been used before. So the first stamp, when you get a new stamp, when it's like, you know, nice and red and clean, they never stamp as good as when they're dirty. Like I could stamp right now with this. It's going to be a lot better than it was last because the dark of the ink, that's stained because it's filled in all the little pores. That's just rubber naturally has pores. So the design next time will actually be a better design. So always use archival ink first. It will stain your stamps like the black, but you'll have a lot better color, a lot better image the next time. Okay. So I'm going to do brown. I'm going to do 3 of those. Let's color this up. And then I'll go to the sprays when we get done doing this one. And I'm going to do the blue. Let's go ahead and put 3 blues. Keep the blues over there. We'll put a green here and a green here and a green there. And it really doesn't use that much ink when you do that. I mean, when you figure you put it on there, that's about what you're using when you use a stamp. So it, you know, let me put my lids back on my inks. I don't want them to dry out. Okay. Okay, here we go. I love that green and the blue together too. And the bolder colors are going to look prettier, just so you know. And let it set for a little bit. While it's doing that, I'm going to grab an envelope and pick up this green. Nature journals. Whatever projects you use. I'm working on getting my journal ready. We're doing for May. And then see that it just grabs the green and then I'll layer it up on the next. I could have used it with the purple, but I didn't. So I'm going to just dab. I love that green on there. I think I'm going to put there's the green with the brown and the blue. So now I'm going to go back in with the green and the blue. I'm going to put a green and a blue. And I'm going to spray. But not a lot. Just a couple little bitty sprays. And then I'm going to use this mostly where my roses are because I want that pop of color. So I'm just going to sort of watch. Drop it where it's at. Pick it up. Move it down. Drop it. Pick it up. Let it set for a little bit. Grab my envelope. Pick up those blues. And when you do that, you're not really, you get most of it off. Like that picked up most of it on there and I added that whole blue look to the green, which I love, like in here where you can see the blue and the brown and the green. And then I'm going to go ahead and dab just a wee bit. Not enough to take my color, just a little bit. Then I'm going to go in with walnut stain because I want some brown in there, but I want to be more selective about where it goes. I want it up here like in the dead, what I call the dead zone where there isn't anything. So it needs that extra pop of color just to add a different color in there. And this was walnut stain, so it's got that sort of green tone to it as well. I'm just going to let it run. And you can, like, you let it run so it gets there. I'm going to go ahead and cover this corner over here. Then I'm just going to go ahead and pick that up with this envelope. Oh, with this envelope? So yeah, see, I added that brown tone in there. Whoops, knocking stuff off everywhere. And I love playing with inks. So that added that brown tone up in the corners, if you can. And I wish you guys, hopefully you guys can see. Let me check my phone. Can you guys see as vivid as I'm seeing? I don't know if you guys can see as good as I'm seeing or not. Oh, yeah, you guys can see it pretty good. Awesome. So I'm going to set that up. So there is the hearts that's in that kit. And like I said, I will try to find, there's that one, which is the pink. And you can see exactly how different. And as they're drying, they're getting a little bit, they're starting to show their colors more as they dry. And then the blue and the green one. So that's what those look like. And I mean, they increase in size as you go. I love them. Best 99 cents I ever spent. Okay. Now I'm going to use acrylic sprays, and everybody can go, oh no, she's going to pull out acrylic sprays. I love my acrylic sprays. Maybe a little bit more because I can use stencils. And I didn't stamp any of those because they're wet. So I'm going to pull my stencils out, which I didn't put on the list. And I'm sorry if I didn't put it on the list, but I want something to do these big envelopes with. So let me, my dirty old stencils. This actually has I actually like that part the best. So I'm going to spray with that. And then let me switch out my inks real fast for my sprays. And let's start with a rose color. This was actually, it's Amsterdam acrylic ink by, you know what, let me not use any of the acrylic inks. I'll do this. Let me use one of the apple butter. The apple butter ones. Apple barrel, not apple bottom, apple whatever it was. And you do have to, you know, mix them up really good when they've set. I do have a screw in there, so that helps mix it up. And I have, if you go to the community tab here on the YouTube channel, there's a community tab at the top. There's a link in the announcement that I did, I think Monday, with the list of, and I did put an announcement on there with the list of what we'd be using tonight. So if you ever wonder, you know, what I'm going to be using, it will be on that tab. It'll tell you. So if you want to like pull things and, you know, work along with me. And I'm going to have to move this around because I got it upside down. First of all, this is a Tim Holtz. Don't ask me what this one is. It's THMM3. You know, sort of a graduated stencil, but I'm not going to use all of it. So I'm just going to spray a spot. Like that. Now, I'm going to grab another envelope, and I'm just going to use a small one. Lay it on top. Because all your spray where you sprayed went under. Went down in the cracks. So you have, you know, that space at the top, you know, that your actual stencil catches all of that. So you can do a reverse stencil by laying an envelope on top of it. So you actually get 2 out of 1 spray. So that's created that on there. Which, I mean, seriously, do some ink around it and it's good to go. I mean, other, you know, to do the back of it. And pull this. And I'm going to turn it up here. And I'm just going to turn it doesn't matter what direction that I'm going in. And this is going to not take a lot. I'm sort of spraying randomly because of where the windows are. Yep. It works. Just mop it right up. There we go. And then I just keep rotating it around. And see, that didn't catch too good because you have those windows there. So I'm going to take this other side because it's still the design. It's just on the windows. And just rub where the windows are at. You're going to have a line in there, but it does put a little color on there. Then wipe up the rest of it. And then I'm going to come over here Just sort of put it where it looks okay. Oops, I moved it. And again, just mop it up with an envelope. Thanks, Connie. I couldn't think of the word. And you can just, if you don't want to do a design, you can do that. But I sort of like how it has that design, especially on the front where it caught that first one. It catches it really nice. So see, that envelope is done up. Make sure I unseal it before it dries. You do have to watch that when you get them wet. Make sure you unseal them as soon as you get done. Pop that up. So there's the front of that one. And then once I do my design, I can come in with a different color. Oh, let's use classic caramel. Ah, it's gonna act goofy. There it goes. I'm just gonna overspray a little bit. Let me grab another envelope. Catch that brown with it. But yeah, you just move it around. And I mean, there isn't any wrong. That's one thing I think that people always think when they're doing journals or any kind of craft or artwork is, you know, oh, does it look okay? Does this look bad? You know, that type of thing. And it's just, there's no reason to worry. You know, with this pink, I'm going to add some darker brown on there too. So what is everybody currently crafting? I'm going to put this. And I just randomly use this to clean up whatever mess there is. Now see, that adds a little color there. Well, there's a little bit there. In the window. So that adds some brown to it. And it doesn't look like much. Give me a second. Let me find. Oh, you know, those are there. Let's go ahead and use the rose again. I love this rose. And I'm going to grab my potting soil because I have my browns. I'm going to use these roses like crazy. Christmas ornaments. Oh my, wow. I can't say anything. I thought about starting an advent calendar. Hey, and I'm going to line this up on, well, I'm not going to line it up on the end. I'm just going to try to closely get it in there. Hello, everyone. Oh, well, thank you, Julie. I didn't see her. I love those. I'm trying to, oh, from France. Awesome. So I love that. I love those roses. And I love how it's just sort of hidden there. So I'm going to go in with, let me find, because I have it here somewhere. I just have to find it. Oh, you know what? Let's go in and use the pink we used earlier. I thought I had a red. What is this? Oh, this is Apple Barrel. This is Apple Barrel, but don't ask me what color it is because I didn't write it down. Oh, I understand that, Connie. This is just a darker, but it's got, I don't know if you guys, it's a, I don't have it written down, but hold on and I will show you. Oh, you guys didn't hear that, did you? You guys didn't hear that. Tell me you didn't hear that. Edwin, how are you? We know Edwin's got stamps. I seen his. It's actually Waverly. Oh, I don't know what color it's considered. Rose quartz. It's the Waverly metallics you can get from Walmart, but they actually have like that shimmery glitter to them. So I'm going to put that over the center of my rose because I think it would be gorgeous. I actually probably should stamp. I should have stamped it with the black maybe. I'm going to pull this envelope out and start spraying there first because I don't know if it's going to behave itself or not. Oh, yeah, it is. Sometimes the glittery stuff doesn't like to behave itself. I'm going to end up with shimmer everywhere. Let me put that up there. Let that sort of set. And I'm going to set this to the side and let it dry where it's at because I want that shimmer on my rose. I'm sort of just moving it around. So sort of guiding it to the petals, which I know that rose is sort of hard to see. Let me set it up here so it can dry. And let's move on to the next one. Let's do one in black and then I'll spray over top of it. I'm just going to keep using the same rose because I actually like this single rose. Oh, I know. I can't get anything organized. Every time I get it organized, then I start doing something and it's unorganized again. And then you have to reorganize. I said I spend more time cleaning everything up from crafting than I do crafting, it seems like. And I spend a lot of times crafting. Let me cover my ink up. I don't like leaving my inks open at all. It is, and every time you think you've got a system, you're like, oh, I'm going to use this. This will be perfect. And then you realize there's a flaw. Look at that rose. I love that. Definitely, I think it's better in the black than in the brown. I love the brown. And the brown would probably be okay if you're just stamping like on a coffee dyed page. But when it comes to here, I think the black. Can you see all the shading in there? Oh, it's awesome. Okay. What? Ooh, let's do purple. We'll do purple, and we haven't done anything in yellow, have we? Oh, you know what? Let's do toasted marshmallow. And I thought I had, yes, I have an Inca gold. Purple gold. Let's just do purple and gold. I have an Inca gold too. I know, I love those roses. I'm trying to shake both of them at the same time, so. Hopefully it'll spray right. You never know with the shimmery ones. And I'm going to spray the gold down first. I'm just going to spray it all over because I want the gold to really come through. Because, I mean, seriously, can you get enough gold? And then while that's setting, I'm going to use this other envelope and mop up the excess. And we'll just set for just a little bit. How many? Marty, my girl. I have quite a few colors, and I'll tell you why I have them. I have them because I make them homemade. If you go to the community page on the channel, there is a link there that will take you to the video where I make them. They're super easy to make, and I use well, let me. I just use the little apple barrel, but it doesn't have to be apple barrel. That just happens to be the brand that I can find. These are, you can buy these for like 98 cents. You can actually find these now at, not the apple barrel brand, but a type of brand, the Dollar Tree even. Any kind of acrylic paint. You know, just the craft acrylic paint. Like this is multi-surface. Satin acrylic paint. But I've used all kinds. So, yeah. It may seem like I have a lot. But, you know, where I live, I can get these for about $1.50. So $10. They're not even $1.50. Less than that. So, you know, if I spend $10, I can have 10 different colors. So, you know, if every time I go to the market, you know, I pick up a bottle, you know, which is only a dollar something. Yeah, hold on, I'll show you in a second. Let me spray the purple here. And I'm just spraying all the empty spots with purple. And I'm not worried about if it sprays off because I can take my other envelope and just put it on top. Rub. 2 envelopes for the price of 1. See, that's what I did, Edwin. I have everything in different spots. And see, just the pickup is pretty. Let me move this out of the way for a second and let it dry a little bit. And I'll hold it up for you. Then I'm just going to go down and pick up all this extra purple because why waste if I can use it to color? And then I just have a little bit to pick up. And so we're in the process of, well, we're trying to find a house to move. We want to get out in the country more. So we're sort of in the country. I'm like in a little town. There's 600 people. Yeah, 600 people, guys. But we want more out in the country, you know, like no neighbors in the country. And my husband's like, oh, we'll build you a craft barn. And I'm like, a craft barn? Do I get to tell you the size and the measurements? Because I want it big. I'm like, I want a craft barn. I want a bathroom in it. I want a kitchenette in it. And I want a sleeping area. So if somebody comes over to craft or somebody comes to visit to craft, you know, they'll have a completely basic little mini hotel room that they can stay in. Move closer to you, Joe. I bet. I'm only 2 hours away from JoJo anyway. And I'm not that far from Marty either. Okay, so here is the gold and the purple. Can you see the shimmer? See that shimmer? So yes, the metallics do work and they do shimmer. I love it. See, I think that's so pretty. And then the print, I don't know if you guys can see where the print is, where it was a security envelope. Actually shows through and gives it more of a design in the background. Now that I've did that, let me put this on there. Let me get some of my area cleaned up because it's too much right now. My old desk feels like it's full. I don't like that. Okay. There's that. Let me move that over there. Let me get in my inks. Get in my ink. Grabbing a purple. I'm going to use my rectangular thing. I have a round one, but I'm not going to get up to get it. I'm just going to use my rectangle one. I know. I'm like a mini house, a barn. See, I don't want a she shed. I want a she barn. And then I'm just going to run around the edge. And this is a darker purple. And I'm doing that on purpose. I'm going to run it up some in the corners, you know, decorate that corner up some with it. And it will ink right over top the paint. Not a problem. Now, I haven't did anything with the back of this, and I'll tell you why. Because this little baby I really like. I like it too much to be an envelope. I mean, it could be an envelope. I'm not saying it couldn't be an envelope. It could. Okay. I'm going to turn this over. Go around the top edge up here with my purple. Try to put it on pretty heavy up here so it blends in here in a minute. And never be afraid to mix stuff. I know, that's what I'm saying. I need a barn. I have got so much stuff, you guys. I was sorting through stuff. I'm like, I really need to have a sale and get rid of some of it. I have so much stuff that if I started using what I have today, I would never get it used up before I die. Seriously. And I'm only 45. Okay, then I'm going to spray this to sort of smear it right around the edges. That's going to let all of that sort of bleed in, that darker purple. Then, again, because I'm impatient, I'm going to go dabbing. And that's just water, so it's not going to make any difference. I'm trying to clean my... Then, while it's wet, this is all sticky, right? You know how this, when it gets wet, like even when you coffee dye it, they get all yucky and nasty. I'm going to grab it, which is why I put color on it. I'm going to fold it in. It's starting to stick there. You might have to lift it up, but while it's sticky, I'm sticking it down on the inside. I don't even care if it's wrinkled up right there. That's fine. Okay. I grab my ink again. I'm going to ink this outside edge here, although it really doesn't matter. You know what? I'm going to be lazy. Yeah, floor to ceiling shelvings would be nice. Okay, then I'm gonna grab my, grab my gold back out again, and I'm gonna spray all my empty spots where gold. I know you guys are going, this hits a lot for one envelope. Let me, yeah. I want shelves like in the old libraries where they ran up the whole entire wall all the way around, and a little ladder that I can like slide to and from, so I don't have to climb up on my step stool to get up to get anything. Okay, now if you touch it while it's wet, you will guide that gold, and I'll show you here in a minute what I mean. Let me clean this up here. All my shimmers. Okay, so there's the gold on this side. See where it's nice and shimmery? Then this, see how it's almost marbled? It has that marbled effect. If you spray it and then you tap something on it and pull it apart, it will do that. Now I do want to come in here and separate this. And it's going to fall apart, so I can re-glue it. I put too much water on it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this open and let it dry. I'm going to keep this folded down, though. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. We will come back to it. And I got to get a drink of water, guys. I had this flu, whatever. Not the bad one, but just a flu in general. And it's been crazy on my throat. Okay, so let me switch my sponge back around, and I'm going to grab my vintage photo and put my gold back up. And grab this. Let me find a stencil. One that I like. Oh, I like this one. This one's cool. And it covers almost all of my envelope. So I'll just put it with a little bitty edge on the outside and sort of a little frame on both sides. Hold on. Grabbing some washi. I know, right? That's exactly what I would do, Edwin. It is no joke, but that's what I would do. Oh, tell Ron I said hi. I've missed saying hi too. And I'm glad you're smiling. And I'm just going to washi this down. I'm not going to worry about my envelope, but I'm just washing my stencil down. Washi. And this is some candy cane washi that I got from the dollar or something. I am glad I'm doing better. I feel a lot better. Oops, I flipped it over. I'm going to grab my vintage photo. And I'm just going to start inking. So, you guys tell me. I am too. I have washi that I never use and sets of washi that I've bought. And I have collage paper. I have like 7 different Tim Holtz sets of washi that I've never even opened up because I need to do like Lori did and make some Tim Holtz journals because I've got like Tim Holtz wallpaper and just all kinds of, I have other stuff too, but I mean, I've got just a ton of stuff. Okay. Okay. So I inked it. My washi don't want to stick because it's this plastic mat. Remember I said it would stick to the shiny side, but not the mat. And I'm going to grab my water. And not a lot. I'm not going to super coat it. I'm just going to lightly spray it. Just making sure I sort of get all of it. And I'm going to let my washi sit here for I'm going to let my thing sit here for a little bit. And I don't know. I'm really into doing these little envelopes tonight. Apparently I like these. Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. I'm going to just set this right on top. And again, do that mop up from before. I mean, if you can get 2 for the price of 1, why not, right? Pull it off. And I'm gonna let it dry, but see how the mock-up even has those flowers on it? I mean, isn't that cool? And that's just the excess. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to, you know what? I'm going to try to do another envelope because I think I can get it. There's enough liquid on there. I think I might be able to get another one out. Or at least part of one. Yeah, the mock-ups sometimes are prettier than when you actually do them. So I'm going to try for a second one. Sometimes I can get one. Sometimes I can't. It just depends on how much water is on there. Nope, see, that didn't take. But I did do some aged on there that doesn't look too bad. Okay. Let me pull this off. Put this over there because I love that stencil I use all the time. So that almost gives you a watercolor effect. Okay. So I'm going to flip my mat over real fast so I can play with the other side because my washi sticks better. See, my little rag is getting used. Okay, I'm going to put my envelope back down. I'm going to match. I'm going to try match my stencil up just slightly off. So I want to just see just a teeny tiny, like an outline. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not. If you can see how it's just a little bit off, or you can see just a little bit of the white edge everywhere. Now, let's see, what color do I want to? Let's use I want to use a blue. Let me find a blue. Oh, I have Mermaid Parade. Yeah, I have a brayer. The reason I didn't use a brayer is because with having the one underneath, I didn't want to squish it and smear it. So yeah, sometimes I use a brayer. But I actually the first one, and I probably could have got a second one up if I'd have used it because there is outlines there. But what else? I know. I've got one. I should have just pulled it out. Let me grab it. I'll have it for next time. I'll have to clean it. My darling daughter loves to paint, and she was jelly plating with it and didn't clean it. So well, it ain't gonna print. It'll be okay. If it gets excess off of it, I think it'll be okay. I'll run it on the. I don't think anything will pull off. See, it's all stained and yucky, but that's what brayers are for. Okay, so I'm just gonna lightly spray this with the blue. And now I'm going to grab the one that just had the little spots on it. I'm going to use it. So see, I was getting back to it. Yeah, it holds it great on the slippery side. Just not on the matte side. Okay. So see, that sort of gave it that. And I love how it just sort of has that like imprint of it, but it's not quite, but it is. And then I always ink up the backs and whatnot. I'm going to start working on the rounds. So I'm going to use blue again, and I'm going to start working on the edges of a CD envelope. The bumper side, yeah. Yeah, I like how it does that two-tone sort of washed out effect. I like that. So I know, right? So I mean, and that's just the junk. This is what you normally would like wipe off your stencil or whatever. And so I mean, I got all of that off the excess after doing that. So it's pretty crazy. Okay, so let me pull my stencil up, and I'm just gonna leave it like there. I am gonna wipe some of this around here. And see how it did that? It almost has like a blurred effect where it has the brown to the blue. I love when they do like this. And then like all this is solid, so I'll go around and I'll ink all this and then spray it, and it'll sort of wash in. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so let me get my vintage photo out here. And I'm just gonna ink up around my edge, and I'll show you what. And I like the fact it has that sort of white on the side that lets it really ink really well. And these are even great that now you can, depending on what you like, because the other was so dark, you can just lightly ink and just lightly go over, and that'll sort of take that stark whiteness away. If you don't like it super white and you want it more antique looking or old, whatever, however, vintage photo, vintage, just to take away that bright white. So that's that. Now you can take it a step farther once you ink it and just do a water spray on the envelope. That's going to let it spread a little bit more, and then just let it set. The water will help it spread. And while it's doing that, I'm going to grab the one I had over here. And I'll set it to the side and let it spread. And I'm just going to grab up any of that extra brown and throw on here. You know, mine has been too, because, well, not tonight. It hasn't, luckily. Knock on wood on my desk. And see, I have picked up some more brown, and you can keep layering that brown on there. That's one thing to remember, is you can just keep layering and layering and layering. Okay, so let me go through and tap out the water. Then I'm going to grab the ink again. You guys are like, what? And then I'm going to go through it because where we smeared that, I want to go through now while it's wet, and it'll pull off more ink off my sponge and sort of give it a darker tone than what vintage photo usually is, because it pulls off like a thicker amount. And I usually put a new sponge on when I'm doing envelopes, and then when I get done, I'll just take it off and store it away till the next time. This time I had to replace it because my last one was like falling apart. So there you go. Well, let me hold it through. There you go. There's your envelope. And I mean, I love that effect. And I mean, that's your vintage photo or a brown, which most people have. And that is just one bottle of the apple barrel paint you can get for like $1 if you make a spray. And I think I actually priced it out, and it cost me, of course the bottles are $1, but it's like $1.19 to make one of these versus the $8 or $9 you're going to pay if you buy them pre-made. And you can mix your colors. So like when you're painting and say you want a lighter, you want this tone of this on this color scheme of blue, but you want a lighter one, and you add some white to it. You can add your white to it, mix up whatever color you want, and then put it in there. And you can spray your laces and stuff with this, and it will dye it. So yeah, there you go. Love it. And back here. Of course, you pull everything out so you would have it, and then your mind goes somewhere else. And I'll just show you. What I do is just pile it in a pile, whatever lace. This is sort of a cream color, but it all works. And then just spray. Yeah, spray a little bit, and then just you have to get your hands dirty. So if you're like opposed to getting your hands dirty, smear it around, sort of suck up all the paint, and then just take your fingers and sort of squish. Roll it around, squish it, and then you'll have to dry it. Let me clean this up real fast. Normally I would wipe that in an envelope, but okay. So now I have my envelope. Not only do I have my envelope, but I have an exact match for the lace to buy it. Not to mention, if you go to buy lace, your colored lace is more expensive. If you're going to get a certain color, you have to get multiple colors. You have to go hunt and search for the one that matches, and you can make your own instead of dyeing it. I mean, it's an exact match. So, okay, what do I use these envelopes for? You can use these envelopes to put in. This one's going to be a closed envelope. Okay, so let's run through what you can use them for. Okay, you can use them for an envelope, obviously. We know that. Okay, you can, let me grab a piece of paper. And you can spray your regular paper with it too. You can actually put paint in it, mix it up, water it down, and dip your paper in it, and it's really cool too. So say this is in my journal. I can use it as an envelope. Obviously, paper clip it. I can glue it like this, use it as a flip. I can, ink this up, put it in my spine, and sew it into my spine and have a flip with a tuck part. I can glue this. Say I glue this, right? Let me grab my, well, I don't want to grab my scissors on this one because it's too pretty. Let's do this one. I can grab my paper cutter, go in and cut the smallest sliver off the top and glue this down to my page. Glue it down like this and have an automatic tuck. I can slide it down. It's still wet, so don't look at it. And make a smaller tuck, which is slightly crooked because it was wet and it cut it crooked. And use it as a tuck. Okay. When I do this, if I don't have it sealed like this, I can open it up. I can pull out my scissors, cut the side off like that. And now you can take your envelope apart and ink it all up. These I can ink up and use as little corner tucks. So they're not going in the trash. They're going to be little corner tucks. Oh, sorry. Let me get in the camera. That probably helps on it. They can be little corner tucks that I can, you know, stick stuff down into very easily. I have that one little flap. So now I can use coffee dyed paper or scrapbook paper of whatever kind and, you know, cover the back of it so it's covered so I have a journaling spot. And flip it over like that. I can take, let me get this out of the way. So, I mean, you can use them for all sort of things. You could adhere them to the front of a journal to create you a pocket on the front or whatever. I can take my little pocket like this. Let me use another one of these. And like this. And what I can do is I can take this envelope. First of all, I can easily slide this in like this way where they're facing against each other like that. Glue those down. Well, I'm not going to pull it up. There we go. Glue it down like that and have the cover and glue this down like that. Decorate it or put something over top of it. Have the cover for a journal. But what I like to do is glue it down like this. And I can decorate the front or back. Fold it over. Let me grab another one. You can, I mean, they're just, you can use them for 100 billion different things. I can do that. And then I can slide this one in here like this. Okay. And glue it. And I have a trifold flip that's 3 pockets. So, I mean, you can make a journal out of just envelopes. So, yeah, there's a ton of things you can do with them. Yep, tons of things you can do with them. Now, I did distress ink these. I love that. I love how that came out. That's just so pretty. But I love this one. So I mean, now, well, you can only see part of it now because I cut it in half. But you see what this is, the wash off, where I pulled it off. Here's the original. So you have that like watercolor vintage wallpaper look. This one was a mock-off. So it's just a nice, so I mean, you could take this and like this the way it is. Let's find a flower that resembles, or we can do a butterfly. We can do a butterfly. Let me find a big butterfly. I want a big butterfly. You know, we'll do the little bird. The little bird. We'll use the little bird. Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to use this bird that has little branches because I think it's just darling. Let me find my block. I've got my desk. It's just stuff everywhere right now. It's crazy messy. Okay, and I'm going to use the vintage photo since this is already in the brown. You know what? Let's not do that. I don't want to use that. I wanted to use the... Yeah, you're going to see me stamp this right on top. It's okay. I promise it will be okay. And then I'm just going to do my little birdie in the corner. And this is archival. So yeah, you can do all kinds of things with envelopes. If you have any ideas on what to do with envelopes, I will put a picture and everything up in group, and I'll have everybody share their envelope ideas. Because I mean, everybody has different ones. And there's my little birdie. So I mean, you can ink over top of it and it looks good. I like the little birdie with the little branches. So we put that over there. And this is why I have to take a day just to clean my stamps, because I just sort of throw them back in there. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my vintage photo. And yeah, envelope journals are fun. So what would you guys, because I'm thinking on Wednesdays, I'll just do like a general sort of crafty make and take type thing. Just sort of random ephemera, embellishments, that type of thing. So what would you guys like to see as far as like future videos or like future lives? What would you like to do? Is there anything anybody's stuck on? Oh, neat, Lori. And so see, that would be perfect in a nature journal. Hold on, what was you counting, Marty? Let me grab some green. And I'm not inking everywhere, just random spots. Layered embellishments. Like clusters, or just like in general. That's your favorite so far? I do. I love birds, so. There. So there's that. Oh, you're talking about a snippet. I love it. I love the little birdie. And I like the green in there because I think it just adds a different tone to it. Oh, well, girl, I've got the scraps. I could run that all day long. Okay. So let's move on to these. And since I got my brayer out, I'm just going to spray some of my acrylic sprays on there. And I'm going to grab my brayer. I'm going to roll my brayer through it. And my brayer's not going to work. There it goes. It broke loose. Anyway, it locked up there for a second. And I'm just going to run. And I'm going to grab another one just to grab out of the circle. I'm just going to grab that as I go along. So there's that. Then I'm going to grab, because this is the acrylic spray now, I'm going to grab my vintage photo. And I'm just going to ink over my stencil here. Just add a layer to it. And it's just sort of random. You probably won't even be able to tell that it's flowers or anything because of how thin it is, but we'll see. Maybe. Oh, Marty, you're so sweet. There we go. And I do usually decorate the back of these. I'm trying to like hurry, and sometimes I take a while to do these, so ha ha ha. So who all is left? I can't even tell. I'm not even looking at YouTube to even know how many people's in the chat or anything. Ha ha. I guess I should pay attention to that, huh? No, thanks, Marty. That's not too bad. I used to do lives all the time. And so there's that one, the front of that one. And then the really cool thing about CD envelopes. Well, it's not really CD envelopes is cool. Where's my rose? Where's my rose? Who has an 8 in 3 days? Is that what somebody said? Oh, so now your mouth's all sore. Yuck. My dad just had all his pulled to get false teeth, and he's like dying because he's like can't eat anything. He's still yeah, that's how they would dad when they pulled his. And my poor mom, she's like, well, I made him beef Manhattans and ground the meat up for him. Like, poor thing. Oh. Okay. Let me draw this, and I'm gonna try to find a white piece of paper here so you can see. Now, remember it's archival ink, permanent, waterproof. So you can ink and then spray over. I'm going to set that to the side real fast and clean my mess up here. Where it's drying on me. And one thing nice about these dollar stores, just like the glass mats, they wipe clean really easy. Okay. Okie dokie. Let me flip my little thing up. Now this would be a side flip because I chose to make it sideways. That's just I like doing them on the side and sticking around another piece of paper. Now this, you could put any color piece of paper behind it, but I'm just putting white so it'll show up a little bit better. Maybe for the camera. I don't know if you can. So see? And it's got the rose on the inside. Isn't that cute? I love it. I love it with the rose on there, and it's permanent. It's not going to go anywhere. So no matter what you put in there. So there's like that. Or say you would grab yellow, which I would never put yellow in this, just so you know that. I would I'm not a big yellow fan. It does show up over that. So, I mean, if you put anything behind it, it shows up. It's just something a little different. Now, I'll show you one with the black. Is going to be amazing because you're obviously going to be able to see it really good without anything on it. I know. I love it like that. And I think sometimes people forget if you have archival ink, or any kind of permanent ink. It doesn't have to be archival brand, but any kind of permanent ink stays on any of those. You can stamp on the plastic and it'll stay there because it's permanent. I have to cover my inks up, and I'll tell you guys why. Let me get a drink of us. Oh, Marty, you're so sweet. Cheesecake. You can eat cheesecake. It melts in your mouth. Oh, that. Oh, I love it. I'm in love, you guys. You have no idea. Okay, so I have to find me a dark red here. Let's see if I have a dark red. There may be something I don't have, which would be really weird because I'm sorry, that's probably aggravating. Here, let me slam that in and out. Hold on, I got a red. I'm gonna use candied apple. Oh no! It is gorgeous. Distress ink. Let me put my lid over here because it's just over here, just my vintage photo just drying out of its own accord. Okay. I'm going to spray some water down. Hopefully my brayer will be. Oh, Trish is doing her cleaning her room and stuff. And then I'm just gonna randomly pick it up off my brayer. And again, if you guys have been around here before, you've seen this before, and just wipe it across. Okay. Let's take advantage of this. Grab another CD envelope, stack on top of it. Okay, that was candied apple. So now do some fired brick over here. Just add a little darkness in there. You're cringing. Why? Why were you cringing? My chair? Is my chair bothering you? Or because it was red? I'm not a big red person, but I'm darkening it up some. Was my chair cringing you? My chair is sort of squeaky. Well, it's not sort of squeaky. It's really squeaky. You guys have probably heard it 900 times. And I would get rid of it. But it's my chair, you know? You've had it for so long. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. Nope, nope, nope. It will not ruin it. And even now, sitting on there, it won't. Because this is permanent. So if you use archival ink, it will stay on there. It won't ruin it. Okay. So one more color. Abandoned coral. And I'm not going, I want it to stay pretty bright and peachy colored that it is. So I'm just putting a little bit of water on it. And I'm rubbing sort of where all the white spots are, you know? Sort of just covering up all the spots that didn't get. So I'm watching on my brayer as I pick it up. And I can see where my spots are. And then just... and then just wipe up. Wipe in. And there you've got it, which would be perfect for any kind of journal where you're using like a red rose. And I'm going to come in with, this is fired brick. I'm going around the outside edges because I want it sort of dark. And then remember, this is distressing. So when I spray it, it's going to go crazy again. So I'm trying to put that a little bit heavier on the outside edges. Let it set for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put this on top of it. Oh yeah, like with have like that blood look or whatever to it. Yeah, it does look like it's blood spatters. Good idea, Julie. I wasn't paying attention to it, but yeah. Did you see it picked up the black? Or the black hadn't dried all the way. So there you go. Pretty red rose. So let's see. It's 12 after. What do we want to get into? Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Let's finish up with this big blue one here. You made it just in time. Oh, no, no problem. Again, just picking it up, running it across. I think you were here last time I did envelopes. I think when I mailed them out, I think you were. One time I did envelopes. The ones, well, I think most people are here. I don't know if, yeah, I guess you probably could, maybe. I don't know. I'd be all up for that. Okay, let's do something besides the rose. I know, everybody likes the rose. Oh, let's do this with the key. I think it'll be pretty. And this is Tonic Studios. This is called Inspired Time by Tonic Studios. I actually get this at Tuesday mornings. So there's like a clock and a fancy little thing, a rose, a key. It says, imagination is the only key to the future. Without it, none exists. With it, all things are possible. Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. So I think we'll do that in the little clock. Oh, yuck, Marty, I know. Isn't that horrid? I'm going to put my little clock right there. We'll see where we can fit it and fit the little saying with it. So I sort of like that. I think we'll put it side by side and drop it down some. Put it right about. That helps if you put the right side down, I guess, huh? That would have been fun. Oh, good Lord, go to bed. That is way too late to still be up. Yeah, after you clean everything up, you need to do something like that, don't you? Do we want to use brown or black? I think I'm going to use the black, guys. And you line it up and down. So see, I love this little clock. It's so cute. Time you enjoy wasting is not time wasted, or is not wasted time. I like that. Okay, so put this back in here. Yeah, go to bed. That's crazy. And again, this is my envelope sponge, so I don't really... We haven't really did any dark and dingy today, so everybody wants dark and dingy. Grungy. For all those people who like the darker stuff. I know, I love the clock too. Like I said, it is Tonic Studios, and it's called Inspired Time. And I got mine at Tuesday mornings for like $3.99. But I have to drive like an hour to my closest Tuesday mornings. I actually stopped there. My uncle passed away in February, and we got done with the funeral and all of that, and was on our way home, and that was sort of my husband's way of helping pick me up as we stopped on the way. That's when I got that. But yeah, so see, now I should have probably did this over here. Let's go ahead and do the back side and the flap. Well, it probably takes a little bit more than that. It depends. If I'm using distress ink, then I do. I got it caught up in my brayer. If I'm using archival ink, I just sort of wipe it down because archival ink is permanent, and I don't keep a soap tub here. Honestly, and I seen Tim Holtz do a thing on it. He was talking about inking and stuff. And the first thing, before he even uses a stamp, he uses archival ink on it before he uses it, because it helps it, and like stamps it off, because it helps your stamp pick up. But it just sort of depends. Like, it depends. I know that sounds sort of... It depends on what ink I'm using. If I use archival, I usually don't bother because it's permanent, and most of the time you can scrub and it doesn't come off. I don't like using stamp cleaners. Again, that was from a class I took, a Tim Holtz class, because it breaks down the rubber in your stamp. So, and eventually it will, you know, well, I'm not sure it'll hurt it, but eventually it'll wear your stamp. Yeah, the archival ink conditions it and makes it where it'll take ink better, so you can, you know, do a better stamp. Which, if you notice how the rows got better the more I stamped with it. Yeah, you can use baby white. I wouldn't use, like, I don't like using chemicals at all. But yeah, I mean, it just sort of, I know they tell you that, you know, you can clean them, and you can, but you have to remember that the same people that are telling you to use this to clean them up and stuff are also the people that are making money selling them too. So you have to sort of be. Yeah, you can't do that. Don't use anything that has lotion, anything that has, like that. Okay, so there is that. That'll be perfect for an Alice in Wonderland journal. Or I actually am working on a journal that has this color blue that I'm going to be showing. So I probably will use it in there. But yeah. Nice. I like it. It would even look good in the springtime in Paris one. But yeah, so does anybody have any questions, comments, remarks? Okay, not negative ones. I don't do negative. I don't do explicit, anything like that. Okay, Bev's gonna get me ranting here. Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? This blue is Mermaid Parade. It's apple barrel paint from Walmart. It's called Mermaid Parade. And I do too. I love it. It's because it has that ocean look to it. But at the same time, it has just, I don't know. It's just a pretty color. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or anything as we're winding up here? I'm going to get a drink of water. And pull my phone out so I can. Anybody? Oh, thank you, Marty. Anybody have any remarks, questions, or anything as we're winding up here? What would you guys like? Oh, yeah, we already talked about it. We're doing clusters next week. So we will do clusters next week. I will get a list of what I'm going to be using, exactly what I'm going to be using. And I will post it on the community page probably Monday. Now, you know what? I'll do it probably tomorrow. I'll try to get it on tomorrow about next week's. That way, or I'll post it in the group and on the community page both. And that way, if you don't have something and you want to get a certain thing, that you can. And that way, you can create right along with me if you want. If you don't want to and you just want to sit back and relax and watch it later, that's good too. Oh, Marty, I hear you, girl. Thanks, Bevy. I like your new intro. If you guys are into planning, or if you're not into planning and you do not have a crafty planner, you need to hook it up with Bev over there. I am going to start doing a crafty planner, and I think I'm going to incorporate. I was going to buy a collage journal or a collage planner like Miss Lori's been doing, and I put it in my basket and totally forgot about it, and now I'm like, oh, and then there's I love these. These are just so gorgeous, and I think this would look pretty with that dark red around it. Oh, lots and lots and lots. So, this is pretty much going to be like a mass make day. Oh, it'll be live, but it'll be all of that. Can you switch your camera on YouTube so the writing isn't backwards? What do you mean the writing? What's backwards? Are you not seeing archival ink? Because it might be something with you. Because, let me see, because when I pull mine up, I'm trying to think. When I pull mine up, I think it's right side up. I don't think it's backwards. Yeah, mine's right side up on my phone. In the Paris kit. Okay, I'll look and see exactly what's the deal is. Okay. Does that help any? Okay. So I am going to get out of there. Out of here. Thank you guys. Really? I wonder why. Huh. What do you mean by backwards? I'll have to go watch them and see. Because when I look at them, when I watched them, they weren't. So I'll go check. I will go check and see if I can flip them around. Yes, I will. I am sorry, guys. Well, that's probably not cool, is it? So yeah, so I managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 envelopes, 3 tags, and oh no, another envelope, and another envelope, and another envelope, and a couple more envelopes, and the one I cut into pieces. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 envelopes and 3 tags. So, I mean, yep. So, got a lot started on there. You know, some stamp, some lace. And that's what Wednesdays are going to be. Basically, just building up bulk ephemera. So, you know, if you craft along with us, well, thank you, Edwin. Well, and I think Wednesday works better. I used to do Fridays, but I know Fridays are weekends, and it's hard. It was hard on me trying to do it and everything and get everything arranged in the middle of the week makes it a little bit more calmer to me. So I like Wednesdays. Yeah, so I mean, you do a little bit every week, and you know, a month you're gonna have if you get 10 things a night, even in a month, you'll have 40 things built up in your stash, which are just pull out and throw in a journal. So okay, we will be doing clusters next week. I will get all the stuff put up, and you guys have a great evening. Stay safe and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye. Nope, yep, Joe, I do too.